All right, welcome back to We Call Bank. The mics might be good, might not be good. I don't know. They moved a little bit in my bag, so we're just gonna rock with it. But topics for the day: we got Jonathan Taylor gets permission to seek a trade. Apparently, the Dolphins and him kind of got a trade together and sent it to the Colts, and they actually denied it. So I don't know what good giving him permission to seek a trade is. But Isaiah Simmons from the Cardinals traded to the Giants. We got a Cardinals fan over here, so hear his opinion on that. Trey Lance officially on the trade block. Sam Darnold, yes, you heard that right, wins the second string job over Trey Lance, who many thought was going to be a really, really good quarterback for the 49ers. Ended up getting hurt. Brock Purdy comes in, and they love him. I love him too. So I didn't expect Trey to get the starting job back, but him getting traded, wasn't really expecting Sam Darnold to beat him out either. So maybe it was he saw that Brock was going to win the job, and he's just not giving effort. Could be, but who knows? And then NBA talk, we got Lonzo Ball out for the season. Been going back and forth with Stephen A. on Twitter and stuff about him not being able to sit. And Stephen A. said, "Well, I talked to the doctors that did your surgery, and they told me this information." So who knows what's going on there? And then a little sidebar: Trey and Steph have been working out together. They worked out last season, so it's not like it's something new. But he shared some videos of them working out. So I thought that was interesting. Maybe some off-ball work going on there. But yeah, starting it off, Jonathan Taylor is on the trade block. Like I said, Dolphins wanted him. They got a trade together, sent it to the Colts, and they denied it. So what do you think? I definitely don't think he's going to play another snap for Indianapolis, but
You don't think he will?
no, no shot.
Like he just ain't going. He's just gonna say forget
No,
it.
the fact that they are like they went through all that, they not don't want to give him money, which he's not up for contract yet. Like it would be next year or something. But and they said they weren't going to trade him. Now they gave him permission to seek a trade. So I think it's just too far gone at this point.
Yeah, I think that's childish, completely childish. But like I was saying last time, it's gonna hurt us. If you focus on career statistics, it's gonna hurt that. But that's the only thing that's really gonna hurt. Because honestly, if you're a franchise and you're looking at a player and you're seeing this, I mean, you see it's not the player's fault. I mean, he's just wanting his money. Every single player in the NFL wants their money. There's not one person that says they do it for the game. Or they say they do it for the game, but they want that money. And so, I don't know, bro. I think the whole organization is being childish because even if you go down to, owner, GM, bro, someone can influence someone to say, hey, we need to get him
Yeah.
either out of here or we need to, because this is just prolonging something that is just going to destroy your entire season, honestly. Because what are you going to do with him? Are you going to use him? Is he going to actually play for you? There's no telling.
Yeah, I mean, I think the running back position is like you either got to be a team that's so bad that your running back is the only thing you got in order to pay him, or you got to be so good that your quarterback likes the running back so much that the quarterback influences the fact that you want to keep him. So I don't know. I mean, I think I've said it many times. I think Jonathan Taylor is top 5, and I think I have him in my top 3. So, I mean, the fact that he's getting traded is kind of wild to me. The Colts really don't have much to look forward to besides Anthony Richardson right now. They got some receivers, Michael Pittman, and I think they have who is it? It's not Tank Dell. Is it Tank Dell? They have some other receiver that's promising. Um, and they got some pieces on defense: DeForest Buckner, Shaquille Leonard. They got some pieces, but nobody's expecting them to win. I don't know if anybody's expecting them to make the playoffs. I know Richardson's got a cannon though. Like I've been watching some highlights, and he can zip that ball. But I just, they're not in a position to win next year. Jonathan Taylor probably wants to win, and Miami would have been wild if they somehow end up getting that through. I don't know what they're going to have to give up, but that offense is fast, man. Jonathan Taylor, he's right up there. Not as fast as Tyreek and all of them, but as a running back, he's really fast. Um, and yeah, so moving on to a soft spot, Isaiah Simmons from the Cardinals traded to the Giants. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it was a horrible trade. Because here's what I was telling them last night about it. All right, about a couple hours after they did that, they also traded a fifth round pick for
Joshua
Joshua Dobbs.
Dobbs. Yep.
So what you're telling me in my mind is Joshua Dobbs is a better player than Isaiah Simmons. And the reason I say that is because you're basically saying it's the same year too, I think, and you're basically saying that he's worth being picked in the fifth round, and the other kid's worth being picked in the seventh. here's my thing. Isaiah is he's honestly, other than Baker, he's probably the best defender we have. Honestly, I mean, yeah, he's probably the best defender we have. Now that I think about it, I mean, everybody's either leaving, getting cut, getting traded. So I don't understand. I know they're probably focusing on the future because I think we got. I know for a fact we have 2 first-round picks next year. I think a second round, 2/3, a fourth, a fifth, no sixth round, and then obviously the seventh round, maybe 1 or 2 seventh rounds. So clearly they're worrying about the future, but it's just like, bro, if you're worrying about the future, just figure out something to make Isaiah happy because that man is a killer. He is a killer. I mean, I go cap. Last year he did have a few crazy, not so crazy games. I mean, and I think they ended up having to like bench him for a little bit, but I don't know. I definitely would have kept him. I mean, he's young. He's a stud. He's only progressing, and to just give him up that early, which I think he already said he wasn't going to sign his new deal with Arizona anyway, so they had to get something. But the 7th round is crazy. Like D Hop said, you're just giving him up at that point.
All right, well, I don't know if you picked Dallas up at all. I know it was coming through my mind, and I was like, ain't no way he's talking that low. I mean, he is talking a little low, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, Isaiah Simmons, I mean, obviously, freak athlete. I think he came out of college playing safety, and they moved him to linebacker, so obviously he's got that range. But he hasn't really been living up to expectations, I would say. I feel like a lot of people thought he would be a top 5 linebacker right now, and I just don't feel like he's there yet. Kind of the same thing you can say about Patrick Queen of the Ravens. I don't know if he's still on the Ravens anymore. But 2 really good players, 2 really athletic players, and they just haven't really blossomed, I guess is the word you would say, into what people thought he would be. But a 7th round pick, I mean, I think that's a steal. Giants kind of kept a little bit of the same team around, so adding somebody on defense, new change of scenery, probably going to help him out there. I mean, the Cardinals have nobody to help him on defense besides Budda Baker, so makes sense. Buda's probably gone before the season or mid-season. That just seems like the direction they're going. They were going to have to pay Simmons after this year, I believe, so I guess they didn't really like what they saw from him. He's probably an above-average linebacker, but just not somebody they feel comfortable extending long-term, so try to get something for him. I'm surprised they couldn't, find some other team to give him more than a 7th. But, yeah, that's a little wild. Moving on to the 49ers, Trey Lance is officially on the trade block. I don't know if they gave him permission to seek a trade or, what have you, but Brock Purdy is the starter for the Niners. They said after last season, I mean, there was really no question about it. Brock Purdy was going to be the starter. And then they obviously bring in Sam Darnold to the practice squad. He's playing 3rd string. I guess he's played really well in practice, played well in the preseason, and stole the job from Trey Lance. I don't even know if Trey Lance played a preseason game. I didn't pay attention to it that much, but all I know is it was announced that he was the 3rd string and that they were, open to trades for him. So I don't know what team could jump on that. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Bucks, possibly. I mean, obviously they're riding with Baker right now, but
the Commanders could.
That seems like a team that doesn't really have a solidified quarterback. Commanders, I could see that, but it seems like they're trying to, rock with Sam Howell, give him a chance, let him play this season. So, really, every team has like a quarterback that they want to see how they play. So, wherever he goes, he's probably going to be the backup. And if that starter doesn't play well, plug him in. He's got the speed. Obviously, he's got an arm. So, I still can't get over the fact that Sam Darnold is over him. I mean, I don't care what he did. I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He did it. Trey Lance is going somewhere else. There's no way he's staying there. You got anything to say about that?
All I got to say about that is I think it's a smart move to put him on the trade block just because right before Brock Purdy got hurt in that playoff game, they were talking about, who's going to be the starter. You got 3 good quarterbacks, not like, all-star Pro Bowl quarterbacks, but you got 3 good quarterbacks. Brock Purdy's coming out here, and he was playing consistently great all of his games. And so, I don't know. I feel like he could be a stud on on a few different teams, and I think they're doing the right move by getting rid of him. Like you said, I just don't see how Sam somehow got the position over
Yeah.
him. That's insane to me. But uh, at least they're trying to get something out of him rather than just keeping him as a third string whenever he does have value on the trade block.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely like a fourth is probably the most he's going to go for. Obviously, I think he was drafted in the first round. I think or the 49ers traded up. They gave up a lot to get him. So, I mean, that's going to hurt. They're definitely not getting first back for him, and I'm pretty sure they might have traded 2 firsts or something. I know it was a pretty big trade. So, I mean, sucks for the Niners, but they always find a way to be good. So, I don't think it matters. And then over the week, Caleb Farley's father passed away in. I guess I haven't read up on it. I don't know if they came out and confirmed, what happened, how the house, exploded. If it was a gas leak, that's what most people assume it was. So just tragic. Prayers out to him. He's been dealing with injuries ever since he's gotten in the league. People thought he was going to be, a really good corner, and he could still be that. He just needs to get healthy, and a minor setback for a major comeback. So hopefully everything goes well for him. But prayers out for their family. And moving on to the NBA. Your boy, everybody's favorite point guard, Lonzo Ball, out for the season. If you don't like Lonzo, it just don't make sense to me. I think he's probably one of the most likable players in the league, in my opinion. Love to watch him play. LaMelo's up there with him. I mean, all those guys, just really fun players to watch. But out for the season. Apparently, they kind of finally figured out what was going on with him, and he got surgery on it. But it's still going to take him, a whole season to recover. And I don't know if y'all saw the Twitter stuff. Stephen A., I guess on his show, said that he heard that it was hard for him to even sit down and get up. So then Lonzo snapped back with a video of him sitting down and standing up 10 times and saying you're wrong and all this about him. And then Stephen A. tweets back and says, I don't know the exact tweet, but basically what he was saying is he has connections with the doctors that did the surgery on him, and he wouldn't be saying that information if it wasn't true. So basically, saying that the doctors told him this information, the ones that did the surgery on him. So take that how you will. He was sitting down with one leg and standing up with one leg. That's probably hard for me to do. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, what do you think? You think he'll come back the same, come back better? What do you think?
One, I think Stephen A. I think Stephen A. is crazy for prying that much into somebody's personal business. Second, I think all of the doctors that were in that situation should be fired, because I'm pretty sure that violates HIPAA. You're not supposed to talk about any patient or anything doing with any patient without that patient's authority. So like
Permission.
even my ankle fracture, my dad couldn't even go do it unless I signed off saying, yeah, my dad could go look at it. So it's just like, you're going to get some people in trouble like that. But as far as out for the season, I don't know if he'll come back the same. I mean, to me, Lonzo, I like Lonzo. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's no LaMelo, but I like Lonzo.
He's not LaMelo. He's better.
I don't know. I think the Bulls is a good fit for him, but I don't better. I don't think he'll come out better. I think he'll either come out the same or just a tad bit under. It's just Lonzo has never really been crazy consistent in his career.
I think just the way he plays, like he's pass first, he plays defense. Like I don't think that's going to go away. I don't think his passing ability is going to go away. His IQ is not going to go away. Maybe the vertical, takes a step back, and that's going to hinder the defense a little bit. But I think he'll still be a good defender, still be a good passer. He started to get the 3-ball going, before he got injured. So if he can, be consistent with that, I mean, that's all you need. Somebody that's going to pass, hit the 3, and play some defense. So I think he'll still have a spot. Just his body type, long arms, athletic. Like he's still going to be better than most. Like he would start on most teams as a point guard, regardless. I think so. I I don't think there's any question about him being able to come back and play. I think he'll be able to come back and play and still be good. But time will tell whether he can get back to that prime that he was going into before he got hurt. Hopefully he does. I would love to see him do good. The Bulls had a real chance that season. Unfortunately, injuries. Alex Caruso, I think, went out that same year, maybe the next year. So it's unfortunate. Levine was trying to get traded in the offseason. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. DeMar's probably going to stay. That's just how he rolls. But moving on, Trey and Steph were working out together. Like I said, they worked out a little bit last season. And people were speculating that because, let's see, I don't know if it was Clay that said it or Steph or something, but there was like rumors that last season when, they had a couple NBA guys working out together with Steph, working out with them, and they were saying that there were certain players or a certain player that couldn't keep up that ended up like leaving earlier or something like that because he couldn't finish the workout. People were speculating that it was Trey, and throw that out the door, man. We see they're back working together. Obviously, he ain't going to bring Trey back in there if he's not really about it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like to compare them, and I don't really say they're similar because the way they shoot, they're not the same. They both shoot deep shots, but Curry's shooting a rainbow and Trey's more like line drive-ish. You know what I mean? So the way they shoot, it's way harder for Trey to get his shot off. I mean, he's shorter, obviously. They just don't shoot the same. Trey can't shoot like Steph, and Steph can't shoot like Trey. They're different players. So, maybe some of the off-ball work will put Trey in a position to succeed. Obviously, they extended Murray in their offseason, so they're sticking together for at least 3 more years, and maybe they can get something out of it. But
I just remembered. I totally forgot, but rest in peace to Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember Bray Wyatt's real name. Obviously, I'll watch WWE, not their real names. But anyways, so, as far as...
I'm always talking like he just slept 3 hours and is depressed.
Bro, I just been tired today, bro. I just... all right. All right. Is that better?
Sure.
All right. Well, anyways.
Talk like you want to be here. Like, what?
I do want to be here. I'm just tired. And then, I got one single focus right now, and that's 12 points. Guarding him to 12 points. He can't have over 12 points. That's all I've been thinking about for the past week while y'all said that. That's all I've been thinking about, and that's all I care about right now is just making sure. And then after that, I'm in peace. So as far as Trey, I know whenever he came out of college, I believe he was in Oklahoma. But when he came out of college, people were saying he was going to be the next Steph Curry. It was mostly casuals because obviously he was shooting like freaking half courts and all that, and everybody was like, "That's a Curry thing to do." Blah blah blah. But obviously, bro, they're completely.
I mean, the way they like blew up in college is similar. Like no one was doing anything like they were, and that's why he went so high. But
yeah, but as a player, I couldn't compare them. Like, it's like how I say I can't compare you and Chase. Like, y'all are both, like, point guards. Y'all both can pass. Y'all both can score. But it's just like...
Why was that pass like y'all both can pass?
It's just different, though. It's just different. Like, the way... Like, Chase does pass, but the way Chase passes is not like a, oh, you're open. It's like a, oh, I'm franticing. And it is nice passes sometimes. But the point is it's just 2 different play styles. It's just weird. So they're not the same player. As far as them working out together, I think that's cool as mess for Curry to do that, bro. Because, Curry is a little bit older. And, to mentor, I wouldn't say Trey is young now because he has been in the league for some years.
Yeah.
But, he's still on the younger side of the generation, I would say. What is he, 26, 25?
No, I don't think he's that old. He might be 25.
Yeah. All right. So
he's been in the league 4 years, I think. So
I'd still say he's pretty young. So
yeah, he should be in his prime right now.
Yeah. So to work out with Steph Curry, that's an amazing thing to do. Apparently, the greatest point guard of all time. I agreed with that until he said
24.
it. 24.
Yeah.
I agree with that until he. I don't know. I don't like people saying that you're the greatest of all time. Like you. To have that, you got to have someone like, for instance, LeBron, for them to call him the king. I don't like people saying, I wouldn't like LeBron coming out and saying I was the king. I like people saying that's the king LeBron. That's different. All right. People saying Michael Jordan's the GOAT. That's okay. Michael Jordan coming out and saying he's the GOAT. That's not okay. All right. Because that's just, it's good to have confidence. It's kind of okay to have an ego. What?
No, continue.
It's kind of okay to have an ego, but to be arrogant, it's just not a good look. That's like I was talking to Bradley about. That's what I don't like about Devin Booker. Is it's okay to talk crap. That's why I like Lucas so much, because he's the exact reason that I became a non-fan of Devin Booker. It's okay to talk trash when you're winning if the other person talked first. It's okay to talk trash if you're losing no matter what. But it's never okay to talk trash for no reason when you're winning. That's just arrogant. And that's what Devin Booker does. And it's just like, it's not classy, it's trashy, it's not basketball. It's another level.
All I know is I don't know if they were talking. We don't know if they were talking trash to Devin too. I mean, if they were talking trash and you dropping 40 points on them, talk, man.
I don't know. In that clip that you see of Devin Booker and Luka literally just had the ball in his hands and he was vibing. Like, so obviously there was no beef. He was just vibing. And Devin just came over there like and just came over there and just like hit it out of his hands or stole it. And Luka was like, bro, come on, man. And then Luka put some real pressure on him after that. So I don't.
Some real pressure on him. Lost by 41.
That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like Devin Booker. I don't like players like that just have these egos. And Curry, he's never had like this crazy ego, but him just like admit, like he was like, "Oh, you the best ever." He's like, "Yeah, me." And I'm glad he said
he wasn't on the
along with
Warriors,
Magic.
And if it was anybody else doing what Curry does, people would hate him. When he hits a deep three and he's dancing back down the court, and all the stuff he does, turning around.
I feel like if he wasn't like a family guy and not God friendly, people would hate him a lot more too.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for sports in general. We're gonna move on. Dallas wants to talk about 2K, a new game coming out. So if you're not really into video games, feel free to click off. That's cool with us. But there's a lot going on. 24 new badges inspired by Kobe Bryant, obviously. Not the badges inspired, but 24. You get the point. So 24 new badges. Apparently, the way you play in games is supposed to affect how good the badge is. So say you're playing a game and you're shooting deep threes and you're hitting and you got it Hall of Fame already, like it's going to stay Hall of Fame. But if you go to the next game and you go 0 for 4 from deep, it might drop to silver. And you got to hit some to get it back up. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Apparently, it can't go below bronze. But I feel like if it's Hall of Fame, it shouldn't go below gold. If it's silver, it shouldn't go below bronze. Like it should be like one below. If you got it gold, it shouldn't go below silver. Something like that. Because like if you got a Hall of Fame, and just because I missed one post hook and it goes from Hall of Fame to silver, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be mad. So I mean, we'll just have to see how it works. I'm sure they'll tweak it, throughout the cycle of the game and stuff. And Mike Wang and them have been really active on Twitter and talking with the community. So it seems like it could be a good year for 2K. Not that last year wasn't a good game. I didn't mind last year's game. The builder seems to be kind of similar to how it was last year. Format's a little different. Maybe the badges are a little different. They took a lot out. So, I mean, the way the builder is, that means, we could see some replicas, what I'm saying? And, I love the replica builds. We don't talk about how much money, but, yeah, I'm really excited for the next 2K. I think it's going to be a fun game. I've seen some badges for, like, big men. There's supposed to be one that's kind of like Limitless Takeoff, but for big men this year, to help them initiate dunk animation. It's supposed to be, like, some kind of, like, quick first step. So if, like, they start with the ball in the mid-range and they go towards the basket, there's supposed to be some quick first dunk or something, not named like that, but it's supposed to help them dunk. Apparently you can dunk meter standing dunks now. They said they haven't really went into the detail with it and got it working like it should, but I'm excited for that because I don't know how many times I've been standing right under the rim and I get a layup. Like, just go up and dunk it. You're 7'3". Even if I got a 20 dunk, I'm sure I could put my hand straight up and put the ball in the rim. So fix that. Lobs. Apparently they're supposed to be easier to time. Depends on what your driving dunk is. Contact dunks still back in the game. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. Taking your meter off, 20% increase apparently. So I feel like that's going to be really easy because it was kind of easy last year. So 20% boost now when there was none. I don't know. It might be too much. Anything else in particular you've seen that
The
is
dunk
good?
meter, they got they messed around with it. They did something with it. I don't remember what they did with the dunk meter, but how I personally, apparently it's supposed to be like easier to green or something. What? Hold
It's
up.
got to be because like the quick dunks, like jump shots, it's fine having a meter because you have time to look. You know what kind of jump shot is coming. Like you're used to it. But with a dunk, like if I'm getting 3 different kind of dunks every time I go in, and they're different timings for each one, like that's gonna be hard to time, especially if it's like a quick one, and then you go from a quick one to like a 360, and it's slower. Like I don't know. I just something about dunking with a meter is just I don't know if it's a good idea.
Well, it's supposed to be easier to green if it's open, harder to green obviously if it's contested. Yeah. But it's supposed to you have to. This is what I love about it. You have to green it if you're playing online. If you're not playing online, you ain't got to green it. But if you're playing online, you have to green it, and I absolutely love that because there's so many times I've been in the wreck and people were just spamming dunk meter, and you didn't even have to green it, and just horrible timings, and it's just hitting contested, crazy dunks. Defense, they changed it to where now you don't have to have a hand in their face or something like that. You just have to have your body near them. I love that because there's so many times, especially I forgot what they call it. It was like ghost defense or something. I hated that in last year in 2K, or this year in 2K23. I hated that.
Yeah.
Being right next to somebody, basically contested them, doesn't mean anything because I didn't jump or I didn't stick a hand. I hate that. They've had that in there for years. I love that they're doing the body thing now. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because basically it's like if you jump, like this year, if you jump, if you're far away from them and you jump and you could get a contest because you threw your hand in their face as they shot. If you're going against a dribble god. Now, if you're going against a dribble god, you need to be able to stay in front of them. And I mean, realistically, if you're playing right, that don't matter. The badges, I absolutely hate. I hate the badges. I don't know why they did that. That's the worst decision they could have ever made. Because at the end of the day, like I was talking to D about it, if you're shooting, like if you're a sharpshooter, right, and you get 93, whatever you got to get 93-3, whatever. That everybody knows stats really. They matter a little bit, but badges matter more. So when you come in, if you want to be a park player, do you know how hard it's fixing to be, or especially a rec player, how hard it's fixing to be to get limitless range? Think about that. Think about how hard it's going to be to get limitless range off rec.
I mean, they've like made it limitless range closer, I feel like, to activate. So like you can be like one step behind the three and like it activates. So I don't think it'll be as hard as people think it will be. Because I don't think it's as deep as what you're thinking it is to get it. But
yeah, it probably ain't, and it better not be because I'm thinking that you have to be like
no,
right
like people like
widings.
hash mark. People thinking you're at hash mark. Like no, like last year it was like 1 to 2 sets behind the three. It was limitless range, and they made it to where like catch and shoot wouldn't proc with limitless. So like if you got past the ball and you're shooting deep, like limitless is the only thing that's going to activate. Catch and shoot doesn't work with it. So. I don't know if those are stacked this year or not. I don't know if they're both in the game. I mean, limitless has to be in the game. Catch and shoot. I mean, feels like it has to be in the game too. So
that 94 feet thing, I understand it for people that literally like put pressure on the ball all the way in the back.
I might be able to use a 5.7 now. If they giving me bumps, then I got like the speed boost and stuff. Like, I might have to pull one out. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I literally loved everything that they done to the game so far that they said and proclaimed, except for the badges. And once they said that, it kind of made me like, Joey texted me that morning, and I was like, bro, I texted him, I said, don't make me throw up this early in the morning, bro. Like that's the worst thing you could have told me.
That's pretty much it for the topics. I think it could be good. Like I said, you got a defensive speed boost now. So all these offensive players speed boosting now. Now the defense got something. So I'm making a center, obviously. So I don't know where I want to go with it. I mean, it seems like they're doing a lot to help with inside centers. So I don't know. People think post scores aren't going to be as good this year. Who knows? But I guess we'll see when the game comes out. You got to have a little bit of a shot though. Like if you want to run rec, you got to have at least a 73 or something, so you can knock down, so they can't just run 4-1s. Can't paint. But any last words?
Prayers out to Bray Wyatt's family and Terry Funk's.
Caleb Farley
and
lost his father.
Caleb, yep. Prayers out to him and his family, and yep. And I'm glad to see Bronny's doing good.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode of We Call Bank. Why are they laughing? Deuces.